Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, likes, comments, and subscribes are appreciated as they do help with the algorithm. At the moment, Ledger is having a sale on their Ledger Family Pack S. While I do not work for Ledger, I am an affiliate and I do have an affiliate link in the description below for those of you who are interested. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Bitcoin and Ethereum struggle while Cardano rallies above $2, meaning $2. Bitcoin and Ethereum are not struggling. I believe they're down by like 1 to 2%. You can see the actual movements in the market once again when we look at the actual charts. It's always the same. There's that little slight dip. People start releasing articles about how terrible it is. The market's going to but they're just only down by a very little tiny bit. Cardano is one of the very few coins at the moment, at the time of me making this video, that is doing exceedingly well. I believe it's up by 6%. I think it's at $2.12 or something around there. There's a lot of discussion as to where Cardano is going to be going next. Obviously, I'm seeing a lot of articles like this. It says Cardano price analysis. ADA bulls aggressively battle for all-time highs, but $2.20 barrier is a challenge. No, it's not a challenge. There's no real barrier there. It's just that simply the top two coins who mainly control the rest of the market are currently in the red by 1 to 2%. You can even see as they're slightly trying to move up, Cardano also moves up further. If we get a 5% increase in Bitcoin or Ethereum sometime today, Cardano is going to smash past $2.21, and then we'll start having articles about how difficult it is to get past $2.40 until we do it, and then $3 is a barrier. Nope, it's not a barrier anymore. Now $3.05 is always the exact same thing. A lot of people, once again, are very, very hyped for this upgrade, and I think by October, Halloween, we should see some major price movements as we start getting the news of all the companies and institutions and yada yada who are working with them, because I assume those things are also in the pipeline as well, and also the the upgrades and the websites and the other platforms that are on top of it. And also it says Bitcoin whales appear to be hungry again, according to on-chain data by crypto analytics firm. No surprise there. I don't even have to go through this one. We know this is happening all the time. We know that the whales are there. We know that the whales are constantly buying. I keep seeing there's one other website, and I don't really care for them too much anymore. They keep releasing news about like whale movements in an attempt to try and scare the market. For those of you who don't know, the idea is that, oh no, people are moving so much money around. Are they getting ready to sell? And it's usually no. Like, it's just someone buying up a huge amount of coins. They lock it into a wallet, and then we never see any outflows from that wallet again. But that website, for some reason, is obsessed. Them and another website who I'm not going to name. If you saw on Twitter, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm not understanding why everyone is so, or rather, a few portion of people are so obsessed with trying to get other people scared out of the market. Like, you guys are losers. Anyway, that's the price news. There's nothing too spectacular. Once again, Bitcoin and Ethereum down by 1%, and that is the struggle, I guess, that we have right there. But once again, they're still both up by like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over the last 7 days. So, going down by 1% isn't terrible. Anyway, that's all the price news. And yeah, let's move on. Tying into this as well, there's a lot of this popping up, and we can only assume why. The CEO and founder of one of the world's largest independent financial advisory organizations, the DOGE Group, has stated that Ethereum's price appreciation should continue to beat Bitcoin's in 2021. The DOGE Group chief executive Nigel Green also believes that Ethereum's value will exceed that of Bitcoin's within a few short years. He said Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and it can be expected to continue this trend for the rest of the year. Ethereum has gained more than 300% so far this year, whereas the world's most popular digital asset is up by 55% by comparison. In fact, it has outperformed all other benchmark assets in the first half of this year. I would, and I mean this conversation has been going on for so long, even longer than the news of the Ethereum upgrade. I would love to just see it happen at this point. It's kind of like the entire all the other coins who came out to beat Ethereum, and none of them have done so except for Cardano, which is getting slightly closer every single day. Ethereum still has not become the number one coin. I do not think it is ever going to become the number one coin. I think it is going to rest comfortably as the number two coin until the end of infinity, simply because I think all the people who are actually really into Bitcoin will never let that happen. We've seen before in previous years, whenever Ethereum, I mean like pumping hard, like it was like Ethereum was going up by like 26% per day, and Bitcoin was like a good 5 or 6%. By the time they got close, Bitcoin skyrocketed, and there was no longer any conversation of it getting closer. But this is just one of the many newses that we currently have right now of these CEOs, these institutions. We've heard it from JP Morgan Chase. I think we heard it from Fidelity at some point. They all believe that Ethereum is going to eventually become the number one coin. And it's not like a 20, 30-year time frame. It's like by Bitcoin's next halving, Ethereum is going to already be the number one coin. If it happens, it happens. You know, it's just the way it is a free open market. It is decentralized, so please have at it. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does happen, expect actual anarchy in the market. Like, that is going to topsy-turvy everything. Anyway, that's the Ethereum walking up a staircase, because I guess that's what happens. There's also no steps here, so I'm trying to figure out how they're going to do that. All right, let's move on. Next up, a small Texas biotech company called Spine Smith Holdings, which generates over $15 million in annual revenue, will convert their balance sheet to Bitcoin for long-term holding to avoid the overreach of banks. Specifically, the company doesn't want to have to ask permission from the bank to embark on projects with their own funds. I think that also is logically having to ask someone else to please, sir, can I please use my money? And then they tell you either no, or you can only use this much of your money, probably doesn't sit too well with a lot of people. When asked why the company didn't want to use banks, the CEO, Kevin Dunworth, there's no S there, commented that Spine Smith was purchasing Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, okay, and due to banking overreach. Spine Smith Holdings, the parent company for Theri, Spine Smith and Sealing Biosciences, is a I don't have to read all that. So cool. Another company has announced they're going to be, I assume they're currently in the process of buying Bitcoin right now, or they already hold Bitcoin. They're making their balance sheet into Bitcoin. Cool. Really quick thing before I forget this, and I thought of it somewhere around here as I was talking about hedge against inflation. Oh gosh, yes. I was watching a documentary yesterday in German. I don't even remember what the name of it was, and it was talking about how basically people, how people are never going to be able to retire, and it hit me really hard, and I actually ran and bought more crypto. The moment the documentary was over, it was showing all these people who had invested years ago or had put money into like a pension fund and all these other things. And they were basically like, yeah, you know, we did it in our 30s thinking we were being responsible and we were putting away money all the time. And they were showing like what the current interest rates were. I'm not laughing. It's just more like of a chuckle, if you will. Showing what the interest rates were for their banks. And it was like 0.04%, 0.1%. And the cameraman or the interviewer was trying to explain to them what the current rate of inflation was and how much money they would have to make in order to be able to outpace, you know, the current rate of inflation. And they had no idea what was going on. Like they were like these like mini community meetings where they were like, we never learned these things. All we learned was like, trust a big company, put your money with them, everything will be okay. You'll have money when you get older. I think this woman, I think she was only getting around like 400 euros, like $450-$60 maybe per month as her pension, which was okay for her because she was like living on a farm and stuff like that. So like she was just getting by. But like as far as like any extra money to be able to invest, she's like, why should I have to do that? I already did it my entire life to be able to live comfortably. And then inflation is right. So anyway, yeah, I thought of that as the actual hedge against inflation. This is what I think is going to be a major driver into people rushing into Bitcoin over the next 4 to 5 years. I'm noticing a lot of friends right now who were never into finance before. When we have dinner, we have discussions, or rather they bring up discussions about like, I heard somewhere about inflation. Can you explain that to me? And I explained it to them, and you can tell that they still don't get it. Like they haven't grabbed onto the rope, but they're still kind of like wondering if they should start the climb. And I think as we continue to see inflation like really destroy many currencies around the world, this is where I think the discussion is going to become, oh, okay, should I be putting $100 into Bitcoin? Side note, I also, oh my gosh, I told so many friends years ago, and whatever, I don't think they're ever going to actually get into Bitcoin for a couple of years, but telling people, hey, every single month to my friends, put $100 into Bitcoin. And, we all know how that went. Anyway, so once again, if you're here, thank your lucky stars, because we are definitely early adopters, regardless of what current prices are. Anyway, that's the Texas company putting money into Bitcoin, because I assume someone in the company is smart and has a brain. So anyway, let's move on. This one sounds familiar, but I don't think we went over this. A lot of websites are making articles about this right now, but it still sounds, maybe because we've said Palantir before, I don't know. According to a Twitter post by Bitcoin Magazine, billionaire Peter Thiel's software company Palantir Technologies is now accepting Bitcoin as a payment. This means that customers can now pay for all of their Palantir tech services anytime using Bitcoin. This movement represents the first time in history that Palantir Technologies is accepting Bitcoin as a payment. Moreover, apart from accepting Bitcoin, this signals that the company is massively exploring when it comes to crypto. That sentence makes no sense. With this said, that also makes no sense. Palantir Technologies CFO Dave Glazer has come out with his view. According to Glazer, Palantir Technologies is now even planning to invest in Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. See, it sounds familiar, but multiple companies keep doing this over and over. And there were multiple other places also discussing Palantir accepting Bitcoin payments. So I don't remember if we actually went over this. And I don't think that we did, because I think I would have remembered us talking about this yesterday. And this news came out a couple of hours ago. So anyway, yeah, Palantir, and that's terrible. I don't know how well you can see this image right here, especially if you're on a mobile device. They tried to Photoshop and smooth out his face so much it just looks like mud. It's just wide. Like, can you see it? You must be able to see it. Like, it's like that extra. What was that movie? Oh gosh, there was some vampire movie from the early 2000s, like 2005, 2006. It was called like Crimson Lady or Moon Woman. Ultraviolet. I think that was it. The one where she's like doing all like the Matrix poses, but like we're not supposed to wink say that it's like the Matrix. And she was, anyway, you can tell during the movie, like rewatch like the first 5 minutes of that movie. They put all these filters on her face as well, like to try and make her look younger, but she just ended up looking like an alien through most of the movie. Anyway, I don't know why they did that to this guy. Off topic completely. Yeah, cool. I don't myself use Palantir, but there's always one person watching who does. So if you need some Palantir technologies, you can now use Bitcoin for it. Oh, also, there's a lot of news, as I don't have that in here. It said that they're preparing for a Black Swan event. My friend was sending me multiple articles about this. There are a lot of companies who are basically expecting, we've been expecting this for a while, but it can't moon forever. That the stock market is basically going to completely collapse very, very soon. There are a lot of companies talking about that they're, putting aside huge amounts of money. There was some other, was it a country? I don't remember, who increased their gold reserves like massively because they were like, something is not right in the stock market. And we're expecting it to kind of take a hefty tumble in the near future. Anyway, that's the Palantir news. And let's move on. Also in okay, this is getting kind of weird news. Facebook's stablecoin payment system is quickly seeking and gaining regulatory approval across America, according to their board member, David Marcus. David Marcus, the board member of the Diem Association, that is DIEM, and head of the digital wallet Novi, revealed in a recent blog post that the Diem payment system has been licensed in nearly every state within the United States. Marcus happened to reveal the news in the middle of a recent Medium blog post titled, Good stablecoins, a protocol for money and digital wallets, the formula to fix our broken payment system. That is the longest title in the entire world. The post was intended to explain why stablecoins could fix a number of problems within the current international payment system and why Facebook, was set up to the task of creating the right coin, network, and wallet for it. He said, I strongly believe if there was ever a chance to create an open, interoperable protocol for money on the internet and truly change the game for people and businesses around the world, it is now. The fact that we're participating as members of the DM Association and in other ways can help bring more companies around a standard, and I don't want us to waste our shot. That was a weird sentence. So the news is that for those of you who were not here, do not remember, do not know, Facebook in 2019 announced that they were going to be creating a cryptocurrency. It is not a cryptocurrency because it is not decentralized. It is a stable coin. It is basically going to be a central bank digital currency. Regulators did not care for this. They said, no, you can't do that. Regulators, and wagged their finger at Facebook for at least a year and a half. Facebook changed the name of Libra, which was the original name of their coin, to Diem, D-I-E-M, and they changed their wallet to Navi, which also makes no sense. I think they were just trying to simply get away completely from the word Libra. So if you Googled Facebook Libra, there would be no association with it. That's usually how companies work. So what happened is the US and many other countries basically said if you plan on launching your own coin, you also have to launch a stable coin identical to it, to our local currency on your platform as well. They planned on launching at the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020. We see exactly how that went. So by the end of this year, they should, by all logic, be launching their coin. Part of the issue happens to be there's a lot, and I'm sure you must have picked up on it at some point. They keep mentioning over and over and over how they are up to the task, how they are the ones who should be taking the lead, how they have the good stablecoin, how they are planning to be the global leader in this. It even says it's somewhere around, I think somewhere towards the bottom. It says in the blog post, Marcus still assures readers that Facebook has no ominous plan with their network and that their focus is on addressing big problems for people at scale. Anytime you ever have to announce, have you ever seen people, you must have, you're older than 20, I assume. Have you ever seen anybody talk about like how real they are, like how, you know, like I'm totally unique and I'm totally so-and-so. Anyone who announces that there's something usually isn't something. So if anyone ever, anyway, the point is as well, on to that same exact thought. Whenever a mega company says that they're good or that there's no ominous plan, you usually have to, why did you take time out of your day to announce that nothing bad is going to happen from your company or that nothing ominous is in the wings? Facebook's plan, for those of you who don't know, was to become the largest bank on the planet, basically overnight. The idea was if they activated this system in 2019 and basically even gave everyone on their platform a free 5 diem because they are the creators of it and therefore they'd be able to do it, everyone would start using Facebook immediately overnight as their banking platform. And that was a gigantic no-no. So this is still what they're trying to do. They still have aspirations of global cryptocurrency, stablecoin, money domination. Don't assume. Remember all the things that Facebook did in the past. Remember all the controversial topics and the taking of data and reading people's information and going to remember all these things. And I don't know if you had it where you live, but there was a huge campaign about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, and every train station and every bus station, there were ads everywhere for it, where Facebook was announcing how non-intrusive they were and how Facebook is actually the best place to keep your data because they won't ever look through your stuff. But we know that that's also a lie because that's how Facebook operates, and this is how they give you ads because it's based off of what you said and what you typed and what you've been looking at on their platform. So the news is, Facebook is getting ready to launch their stablecoin, I assume by the end of this year. So look out for that one. And the worst part is that people know what Facebook is and what they do and what they have done, and people are still going to use this as if Facebook hasn't, Facebooked before. Anyway, that's news. And let's move on. Next up, London-based financial services firm ETC Group, no affiliation with Ethereum Classic, will list its entire portfolio of crypto exchange traded products offering exposure to Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin on Austria's national stock market. In a Wednesday announcement, the ETC Group said the Wiener Börse, or Vienna Stock Market, will be listing 3 of its crypto exchange traded products, or ETPs, that are 100% physically backed and carbon. Whoa. Central party. Where'd I get carbon from? Oh, I see it, right? It's down there. Central party clear. Doesn't matter. These include the firm's carbon neutral Bitcoin product, Litecoin, and Ethereum ETPs. The ETC Group has already made similar listings on stock exchanges in London, Paris, Amsterdam, Zurich, and Frankfurt. The ETPs are aimed at allowing investors exposure to crypto with the regulatory protections afforded the traditional stocks. Anything else that was there? The market maker on the Vienna Stock Exchange will be... Oh, boy. Okay. It means nothing in English, so I can say it. I mean... Okay, anyway, the point is, the market maker on the Vienna Stock Exchange will be Lang und Schwarz. If you speak German, you understand what and I don't know why they would name themselves that. With the crypto product distribution by ETP provider Han ETF. Despite the name, the ETC Group has no connection to the cryptocurrency Ethereum Classic. So cool. This is continuing all over the place. I told you this before. The entire discussion around an ETF within the United States is completely mute at this point because no one really actually cares, except for maybe mega ultra gigantic hedge funds. But every single time that there's an ETP, so an exchange traded product, which can also still be or has assimilated an ETF inside of it, every single one that has listed, I think except for one in one weird country, they're physically backed. So these companies are actually buying Bitcoin, buying Litecoin, and buying Ether for the actual funds. And when people gain exposure to it, they're gaining direct exposure to the actual cryptocurrencies. And now it's available in more places around Europe. And I assume by the end of this year, it will be available everywhere in Europe. And then they'll eventually move to Asia. So you kind of get the point. So the news of, not having an ETF in the States doesn't really matter because even what was the news that we had yesterday? There was some other company who just made another ETF. Oh gosh, what was it? I think they're an American-based company, but they're also in Canada and some other country who also just made another ETF, so Anyway, cool. Yeah. Awesome. I believe this is the actual press release for it right here. World's most traded ETPs from ETC Group to list on the Vienna Stock Exchange. Fantastic. Let's move on. Also in the news, she's putting her money into a Bitcoin. United Wholesale Mortgage, UWM, the second largest US-based mortgage lender, is planning to accept cryptocurrency payments this year, starting with Bitcoin. UWM CEO Matt Ishbia revealed the crypto plans on Monday in a conference call regarding the quarter 2 results, when the firm posted a $138 million net profit for the quarter. They said, "We're excited that hopefully this year we can actually execute on that before anyone in the country." Here's the tweet for it right there. Speaking with the Detroit Free Press on the 16th of August, Ishbia said that the move would likely happen later this quarter or at the start of quarter 4. He said, "I think we're starting with Bitcoin, but we're looking at Ethereum and others. We're going to walk before we run, but at the same time, we are definitely a leader in technology and innovation, and we are going or always trying to be the best and leader in everything that we do." So I guess they'll be the first, and then there'll be a second, and then basically every other corporation is going to also accept cryptocurrency for mortgages as well. It is the logical next step. That picture is freaking me out because he's also holding the Bitcoin so it can't move. The Bitcoin has its arms on its hips, and she's just sliding the money into it. It is a very awkward photo. Also how they're staring at it. So cool. I assume within the next 5 years, everyone will be accepting mortgages in Bitcoin or Ether or other cryptocurrencies that they're going to be looking at. I think it'll really take off quite quickly, especially just in general. If Bitcoin's price continues to mathematically continue to increase, and people know that every year they only have to pay less and less in Satoshis, it's kind of just a win-win for everyone trying to get property, if you will. Anyway, Cool. That picture's freaking me out. We're going to move on. And to finish things off, New York-based blockchain data analytics platform known as Chainalysis revealed on Wednesday that global cryptocurrency adoption has skyrocketed worldwide. Residents from more and more countries are diving deeper into crypto and integrating digital assets into their daily lives. The Chainalysis Crypto Adoption Index appears as an effort to measure cryptocurrency adoption from the grassroots. Per the company, the adoption of digital assets has surged by 880% in the past year. Cryptocurrency adoption has surged over the past few years. Several emerging economies have come forth and adopted digital assets in some way or another, which reflects that cryptocurrency has gradually become a global phenomenon. Not sure if you've been paying attention, and I completely understand if you have not, to the news. I've stopped watching news even over the last 2 or 3 years. It's become just too chaotic. I'm tired of being depressed every time I'm done looking at my TV. But the current events that are taking place, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it or seen whispers of it through your friends or through a text message or something like that. These people are currently unable to take their money out of their bank accounts. Completely and utterly. They're going to bank accounts, to the ATMs, and they are completely empty. I know that Bitcoin is not the only option, and I'm not saying that these people should explicitly just be into Bitcoin or that they should have done so before, but events like this are going to continue to happen in some way, shape, or form. We saw what happened in Lebanon and is still currently happening in Lebanon. This isn't a past event. People, I hope, continue to get wise to the idea that there are other options. And once again, this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. It comes down to the fact that a lot of people get very comfortable in their lives and they continue to assume that the money that they're making, the jobs that they have, the other things or whatever are going to continue to always be the exact, and they're not. They're not. The reason why we see adoption surging, especially in many other countries, it even says it's somewhere around here. It says Masari revealed that Asian accounts for nearly half of all digital asset trading and 90% of the volume above $10,000. So any payments above $10,000 in crypto, 90% of them are coming from Asia. A lot of times, I'm going to finish off the thought. Once again, it's okay to be complacent or okay where you are in life, but just understand in 5 years, you will be 5 years older than you currently are. And I hope you saved up or have invested for those 5 years. Where you are right now, at some point, you may be 15 years, 20 years older than where you currently are. Life will not be the same as it currently is right now. You have to put money to the side. You have to invest. Even if you choose to have your entire portfolio in US dollars and maybe even a bar of gold, think it over and maybe even say, hey, an extra 100 per month into another investment vehicle might not be too bad, because it's going to get really bad. It already is really bad. I'm not sure if you've seen the news really fast. And you have to be able to, can you imagine, even where you are right now, I understand, once again, I know that everyone is very content or more so or less content with their lives and where they wake up and yada, yada. But imagine going to the ATM and there's no money inside of it. Imagine going to swipe your card because you're going to go get breakfast at whatever breakfast place you go to, and your card doesn't work because your account has been frozen. Think further. Always try to think 5 steps ahead of where you currently are right now. You have to. So anyway, we see adoption surging in many countries because of all the things that have been happening. There's a reason why you see all these companies throwing tons of money into the cryptocurrency space. It's because they see what's happening to the stock market. They see what's happening to the US dollar. I told you the documentary earlier where the people, these people had no idea. They knew what inflation was, but they assumed that it was still low. They didn't look at their bank accounts because they thought that there was not going to be a change in the amount of interest rates. They were talking to a family. It was a wife and a husband. I think they must have been early 30s or something like that. And the person was explaining to them how much money they would have to put away to be able to have a comfortable, and I mean not a great, I mean you can still pay your bills kind of retirement in maybe 30, 35 years, which also shocked me, the idea that people are still going to be waiting 30 to 35 years to be able to retire at all. And they were shocked. They were like, we don't have that much money to put away all the time. And then they were like, That's for you. Now, for your kids who were, you know, under 10, they were like, all right, they're going to have to put away this much money. And they were completely. So anyway, just always try to think ahead, understand. It's very exhausting. I've been trying to convince so many of my friends over the last 10 years just to put money away, to invest in something. And very few people do. This is why I have the channel. For those of you who don't know, I do it to let you understand that things are shaky now and they're going to get a lot more rocky. But if you prepare in the future, you'll at least be on sand and not like a rocky beach, if that makes any sense to you. Probably doesn't, but I'm sure someone out there got it. Anyway, yeah. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fundwiser, Mortified, love that one, Roman, Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben, Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plum, Tomato, Umnu, Wish, Nikki, The Letter M, Stefan Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something, and the Z-Way, Lay, Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quarter Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy, All Good, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik, Banana, Auspicious, Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Hanadi, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Anima Reader, Ibibliophobia, Todd, Mullis, Adam, Graysick, Moha Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold E3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavordi, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodeming Boatface, Anytime Fitness, Moscow Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger and Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola, and Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel, who clicked the little join button below. Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, who told me what they had for breakfast, who is a new subscriber. Hello to thee. Thank you for all the NFT support. Thank you for all the support across the entire board. I do appreciate every single one of you. I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but it's absolutely true. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently down by 0.7%. Ethereum is down by 1%. This is what I was talking about. Like, you see the dips and it goes wee, and it comes back up and it dips and goes wee. So I assume by the end of the day, or even in a couple of hours, Bitcoin will be back in the green. Cardano is currently up by 5%. It is at $2.12. Everything is looking like it's going to try and move back up, but who knows? You know, Bitcoin is a bit of a baby sometimes, and, you know, it falls back down, and then, you know, the rest of the market has to follow it. I think some coins have broken the trend. Solana is up by 4%. Luna is up by 32%. What the fluff is going on there? Internet Computer is up by 12% at the moment. Avalanche is once again, ironically, up by 41%. All right. Anything else crazy? Cosmos is up by 21%. The Graph is up by 2%. Algorand is up by 11%. Tezos is up by 2%. Yeah. All right. We'll see where the rest of the day takes us. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Something else I had to say. I don't remember. It was something about money. Of course, because it's the channel. I don't remember. If I remember, I'll make a short video about it, or I'll post it on Twitter, ranting and raving. Anyway, thank you all once again for watching and for listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.